Hello, Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Chakra Wisdom Tarot by Tori Hartman. Artwork by Katrina Sokolova. I'm hoping it shows up there if I can get it close enough. There are websites for them, watkinspublishing.com or toryhartman.com, and or whatever you want to do with that. There's an S in Watkins in case that matters. I can't see it, so I hope it's on camera the way it should be. Supportive Oracle Cards, Spellcasting Oracle Cards by Flavia, Barbara, and Lizbeth. There's their full names. There's a website with them, shewhoisart.com. Okay. My brain just went blank for some reason. That's interesting. Like, I knew what I was talking about, and blank. Flat. Alright, so maybe we're switching gears. What do we got for Gemini? Ooh, I like your cards. Let's see what's going on around you. Okay, we got some good stuff coming in. Something new. Something new. Okay. Something new. The first thing I noticed that popped up in the environment was the boundaries card, which I have a feeling you're going to love this. I found that interesting because I'm like, you like to think about things and see things and get information and go all over the place. I didn't think boundaries would work for Gemini, but I'm getting like the boundaries are like, it's kind of like you're corralled into success. It's kind of like, it reminds me of bumper bowling. I don't know why, but kind of like there are boundaries with this situation coming in, yet there's more than enough for you to do. Kind of like, okay, there's boundaries. How secure are these boundaries? It's kind of like, are there boundaries? Let me check that out. I'll be the judge of that. There are, but like whatever the situation is, something totally new coming your way, very intellectual with the Knight of Swords coming in. I feel like I'm challenging, researching, redefining boundaries. Ooh, you might be redefining boundaries. Kind of like, okay, well, it's almost like somebody getting like you know when somebody maps out their land, what do you call that? Survey, there we go. And it's kind of like you redo the map, you're like, wait a minute, I know that they think that's how this was, but let's relook at this boundary. And actually, that may be the boundary now, but we have an opportunity to purchase this slot over here. If we do that, we can actually reform our boundaries, and if we do that, you're kind of like challenging, reforming, redefining boundaries. This is, I think, one of the reasons why you really thrive here. Kind of like, they're saying that's the boundary. But they also might be giving you like a gray strip. Like, somewhere over here is the boundary. And you're like, somewhere over there. Well, let's find out where the actual boundary is. And let's see why it's there and how far we can get to it. Can we go a little bit over it and not really have a problem? Or do we have to stay on our side? Be careful of boundaries. Challenging them, redefining them, cool. But I'm getting this image of somebody who got burned by going across a boundary because they just thought they'd get away with it. This is definitely one of those situations. Define, redefine, know the boundary. Don't go across the boundary. This is one of those situations where once you go across it, it's just repercussions after that. Like, whatever you're dealing with, it's just like just flat out repercussions. It's kind of like putting your hand on the stove. Once you touch the hot stove, you gotta burn. You can't talk your way out of the burn. You know what I'm saying? So be aware of that. Like, you can heal it different ways, but you're going to have the burn either way. You know what I'm saying? Something really good. There's a lot of intellectual energy. There's somebody here, they want what they want, but it's kind of like, you're very smart. You know this. As long as you kind of angle it where they want to go, you help them get what they want, see what they want to see. Be careful with that. You know that, though. Be careful with helping them see too much of what they want to see, because they might hyper focus on it. It's kind of like you show them what they want to see and they're like, okay, that's all there is here. You're like, no, that's not all there is here. So don't show them too much of what they want to see, because they might hyper focus, and if they get very tunnel vision, you know, they just get locked on that. That might be all they see, and you might have a hard time dealing with them or showing them or dealing with other things. Be careful how much you show them. Don't show them too much of what they want to see. Make sure you put in a bit of like, well, this could go wrong with that. we need to watch out for that. You might want to start off with what you want to watch out for first, get that in their brain first, and say, as long as we keep this under control, and as long as we tend to that, then this other thing may be okay. Be careful of that. Because I'm getting like you might start off with the good stuff, and then that's all they hear is the good stuff, and they're not paying attention as much as they should. And you need this person to pay attention to you and to hear you. That's the big challenge with this. I'm already getting this. You have a lot to offer. You have a lot you see. You can push this forward. Like, this is what you want. Well, that's there. And then it's like that's all they hear. If you start off with that, I feel that's all they hear. Oh, it is there? I knew it was. Thanks. Bye. You're like, no. There's more. And you're trying to say, it's there, but you got to do this, but you got to do that, but you got to look out for that. You got to take care of this. I swear if you start out with the good, they only hear the good, and they just... And then they're going to fail, possibly. Good chance they'll fail if they don't listen to you. If they don't listen to you, they'll fail. So either they'll fail because they're not listening, or you're going to have to do triple duty to really get them to hear you. And that's not really, I don't think you're interested in doing triple duty to get somebody just to listen to you. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. Start off with like, we have to tend with this, we have to tend with that. Then tell them if we do those things correctly, and really, you might want to really, accentuate that. If we tend to these the way we need to, if this goes correctly, you hear me? Then yes, it may, and you might want to even play with it that way just a little bit. It might go this way. There's a very good chance it'll go this way. I can see it probably going that way. But if you don't do this first, no, not at all. Start off with what they need to tend to. Because I feel like the natural energy is like, I want to win them over. I want them to be on my side. Once there's a positive energy, they should listen to me. I don't think that works though. Once there's the positive energy, they just hear what they want to hear. And they're just kind of like, oh, well, yeah, no, I get what I want. That's what I want. Yeah, no, I get what I want. I get what I want. That's all. I'm just careful. Especially because this is a very positive energy for you. A very compatible energy for you. It's very active. When they hear what they want to hear, I just feel like that might happen. Careful of it. Know that this person does value you and does seem to like you a lot. You do seem to like them a lot too, just to be fair. Two of Cups is there. It's all about how we bring it forward. Other people are going to definitely be a part of this in some respect. There's other influences coming in with the Three of Cups. This is also why in the very beginning you want to establish what the challenges are and give them a heads up on what has to go right and why. And maybe you even have ideas on like how to handle that. Here's some ideas, here's some suggestions and ways you could go with that. But if this doesn't go well, that's not going to go well. It's like if you can't get to the water, you can't enjoy your boat. You have to make that point. Like, we got to get to some water before you can enjoy your boat. Like, unless you just want to sit in that boat on dry land, I don't see why. Because you can't fish. You can't really do anything with it. You're just going to sit there. I mean, why have a boat if you're just going to sit it on dry land? And it's like it's like you really have to stress that point. And it may be painfully obvious to you, kind of like, listen, you got to get the boat to water. And they're like, I have a cup of it. They're like, yeah, right. No, you got to get to some water that we can actually do something with. If you go to a canal, you got up and down the canal. Maybe some different ways you could go there. If we go to a lake, there's more possibilities there. If we go to the ocean or we go to a Great Lake or a bigger body of ocean, a body of water, more possibilities, different possibilities. And it's kind of like you got to highlight to them. Like, you got to first get it into water, and you also got to choose which body of water you want it in to decide what type of experience you're looking for. And you want to get that in first, again, because when other people, file in, shuffle in, when other people shuffle in, I just feel like it's harder for you to be heard. If you're heard in the very beginning and you point out this has to go right, that has to go right, and you start with that, I feel like you get this person's attention. I also feel like if it starts off that way, you get their attention, you get your information in there, but then they listen to you more in the future, kind of like, oh, the Gemini gave me the heads up about this, And if it wasn't for them, I might have stumbled on that. What else do you think, Gemini? They'll come back to you. If that's not established in the very beginning, it's triple duty at least. It's hard. And other people are like giving their 2 cents. They make it more confusing. And then it's kind of like you might have a great idea that you put out there, and then all of a sudden it looks like somebody else made that idea up or somebody else took that credit. That's why you want to establish it at the very beginning. I think that happens to Gemini a lot. If it's lost in the shuffle, you bring out an idea, you throw it out there, somebody else steals it, basically, and takes it on as their own, even though it might have been your idea to start with. So that's, again, in the beginning, we want to establish this is what needs to go well, this is what we need to handle first. If that goes well, and you're able to establish it, I'm getting, like, you seem to be doing extremely well with the King of Pentacles, the wheel going in your favor, prosperity. If you're established well, if you make your establishment in the very beginning, if they listen to you in the beginning, you establish, like, I have answers. I have information for you. I can tell you what you need to look out for. Especially because the way you pull forward your answers are like, here's some options. You want to get across the street? You can walk, run, skip. Here's your options. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. I know that's really simple, but you want to get across the street? Well, you can walk across that street. You can run across the street. You can skip across that street. You can call Betty and have them come pick you up and drive you across the street if it means that much to you. You got options. And you give them different ways of success is basically what I'm saying. I don't see you really saying you have to do this, you have to do that. This is like a good idea. This is a way you could do it, and you could do it that way. You give possibilities. Prosperity, you seem to be very secure if this is started off well in the beginning. If it started off well in the beginning. A lot of blessings come your way. It's all about how it starts. This Ace of Swords is like the communication. It's all about how it starts. If it starts well, you solidify it, you keep it. It'll stay. But it's got to start off on the right foot. I hate to be the Debbie Downer, but if this doesn't start off on the right foot, it'll just never fly right, if that makes sense. It'll just always be a challenge, because whatever way it starts, it stays. Four of Pentacles, whatever way it starts, it stays. It's going to stick that way. So hopefully this is coming forward to you at the right time so you can make those objective decisions and do what you need to do to be looked at and respected correctly. Also, I feel like for some of you, maybe this is coming forward to you, giving you a heads up of like, all right, maybe this last time didn't work out. Maybe all the negative things I was talking about is actually what happened in this last situation. But if that's the case, they're saying, oh, you've got another situation coming up. Remember this for now. Keep this in your back of your memory banks, because you got another one coming up fairly soon. If you stuck through this whole reading and you're like, well, I already went through this already happened, I really can't go back and fix that now, it's saying within a month or less you're going to have it happen again. That's what I'm getting. If you stuck around this far and you're like, I just feel very compelled to keep listening to this, but that already happened, I can't fix it now, within a month something else similar to this, the same pattern's going to come up. It's probably a pattern thing. And they're like, when it comes up this time, keep that in mind, do this way, better things for you, more happiness for you, more joy for you. I feel like I talked very fast on that, but I mean, it's on YouTube, so you can slow down how I talk if you want to. Anything else? All right, we're going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you are interested in the donation information, same email, details below. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.